Hi, welcome back to the Harpreet Singh Show, and you're watching Tania's Truth Talk. Today we have a guest. His name is Bazzel Baz. He's on Skype today from Los Angeles, California. He is a former CIA, and he is the founder of the Association of Recovery of Missing Children. So welcome to the show, Baz. How are you today?
I'm fine, Tania. Thank you for having me here.
Well, Baz, it's my honor. I mean, you and I, we were both keynote speakers at the conference in Des Moines, Iowa, with Tony Nassif from Preventing Abuse Foundation. And when I heard the work that you do, I said, I have to get this man on my show. So you are a former CIA agent, and now you are rescuing children from all over the globe that have been abducted, sold into child pornography, and so on. Can you tell me more about the work that you do, Baz?
You know, the organization was founded in 1991, and I actually got out of the agency in 1995. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization of former intelligence, military, and law enforcement officers that are strictly dedicated to the recovery of missing, exploited, abducted children, both in the United States and globally. And it's a service that we provide at absolutely no cost to the parent.
Right.
And of course, we rely on donations for that. But we've been very blessed to have so far 100% success rate in that every child we've gone after, we've brought home. And that does include not only non-custodial parental abductions, but over the last many years, it's included anti-human trafficking, getting young kids that are being led into prostitution, whether it's child trafficking, whatever it is, getting them back to a safe zone.
Now, you know, you have been told, you know, some people have labeled you as a vigilante and so on, but literally you are doing this out of the kindness of your heart. I mean, you have basically given up your whole life. You're a former CIA, and you're putting your life on the line every day rescuing these children. You've gone in very, very dangerous places. Tell me some more about that.
Well, it's interesting. I have seen every now and then I'll see an article, someone calling us a vigilante. And I find it actually kind of interesting in the fact that we all have an obligation as a citizen, particularly here in the United States, and as honestly, without sounding too preachy, God's children, to take care of those who he's put on this earth who are innocent and defenseless. And so many people ask us why we do what we do, and I simply state, if we do not, who will? And so when it comes to this whole vigilante thing, I'd like to remind people that there's not an operation that we've been on that hasn't either been governed or sanctioned by law enforcement. We make sure we have all the paperwork and that we abide by all the laws of the courts in that country. And oftentimes in other countries, we have very strong alliances with former military, law enforcement, and high-level personnel in their own government that either assist or sanction or allow us to go ahead and take care of business in rescuing a kid. So the vigilante thing doesn't stick anymore with us, particularly since we have a long history of credibility and partnerships with the FBI and ICE and a number of other people, even Interpol.
You know, you made a comment when I heard you speaking that really stuck out to me. You had stated that, you know, there's a lot of organizations that focus on doing prevention and raising awareness, but who's really going to be the one to put their boots on and go and rescue these kids?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting in that, you know, there are so many organizations that are involved in the whole anti-human trafficking issue right now. And it's continuing to grow. And I think that most of those organizations are involved in, quote unquote, making people aware. And so the question is, when do we have enough awareness? And where does that graph start coming down where there's so much awareness that now we're doing something about it? And I like to point out to most of those organizations, and sometimes those organizations aren't happy when I'm pointing this out, is that no child comes home until you put boots on the ground and you physically, with other human beings, get that child and rescue them from their circumstances and bring them home or to a safe environment. So you can make people aware, and we can print up all the posters we want on the milk carton, so to speak.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, where does that milk carton go? that milk carton generally goes in the trash.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I do a lot of prevention in my organization, but the statistics show that less than 3% that get into it get out. So I try to focus on the prevention part. But obviously, like, a lot of people are not equipped with the type of experience that you have to actually literally put your boots on and go and rescue these kids. I mean, you were telling me you were coming out of dirt roads where there's drug cartels and all kinds of stuff. You're literally putting your life on the line, Baz.
We are, but you know what? We have been blessed to have a very full and rich life. That's what God's given us. Yes. And there's sacrifice required for everything. And you know what? You can't put a price on a child's life. I mean, there's no cost at that. And, that's the nature of who we are. It's the environment we can't come out of. Many of us are former war fighters. These are environments we're used to. But whether it is the freedom of your country or the freedom of a child or whatever it is, someone has got to charge into the mouth of the dragon. Now, I say that humbly. I don't say that as if we're bragging, because trust me, there are men and women that are far greater than anything I have ever done, and I honor them. But those are also the people that I learned from, and they do not carry a spirit of fear. So if the job's going to get done, somebody's got to do it, and that's just who we are.
Now you and I were discussing earlier that we both come across the same problems, both having nonprofits, is that, people hear of all the stories, but they just don't want to step up and financially donate. And you were telling me that you have, 41 cases or something sitting on your desk where you've actually located children that have been abducted, and the only thing that is stopping you from going and rescuing these children with your team is money, because they're recruited to other countries. So you've got the jurisdiction laws and stuff that are preventing you from getting them the other way. So you're going on your own with your team, and you're rescuing these kids, but these airline tickets are costing a fortune. You're saying it's an average about $30,000 per kid. So basically, you've got 41 kids sitting on your desk right now that you can go and rescue if you had the funding to do that.
That's correct. We have exactly 41 cases right now.
What is the name of your website, Baz?
It is www.associationfortherecoveryofchildren.org.
So people can find out about how to participate and help by going to that website.
You can. We encourage strategic partnerships, financial partnerships. Obviously it's a 501c3, so it's a write-off. Keeping in mind that nobody on our organization receives a salary. We are totally accountable to the IRS. We have the Tashima Company, which are our accountants. So literally every penny is accounted for, and every penny so far is just strictly for operations, whether it's getting us on the plane and getting us off, whether it's the transportation when you're on the ground, or the lodging, or whatever it may be. But very basic operational logistics for us. We have very little overhead. That's kind
of. And you're based right now out of Los Angeles, California?
We're based out of Los Angeles, California.
Now, if you had a sudden windfall of money or something come your way, how many children would you be able to say that you would be able to rescue in a year? That you would actually be able to go to these other countries and get them, that you know exactly where they're located right here, right now?
Well, it would depend on what that windfall looked like.
Let's just say, you had it. How many if money was not the option, was not a problem, how many children would you be able to locate and return back to their parents in 1 year period?
If money was not an option, we would create more what we call SFRTs, Strike Force Recovery Teams.
Yes.
Which generally consist of 2, 3, or 4 operators, and we would disperse them globally, and we probably, depending, if money wasn't the issue, it's unlimited how many kids we could bring back. I can tell you we'd be bringing back more than 100 kids or 200 kids. It just depends on how large your organization ends up being. And for us, Tania, it's not so much how large we are as how effective we are. And
That's right. Baz, we're going to be going into a commercial break here. Right after the commercial break, I want my viewers to watch this. It's about a 4-minute video clip of an actual rescue. This is a real rescue where Baz and his team has gone and rescued a young girl that was abducted and taken away from her mother. And she was gone for almost 4 years. And it shows the reuniting of the mother and child. So tune in after the commercial break. You don't want to miss this.